Hi, welcome to the GIMM 260 final. Now, I put final in quotation marks because the final for this class is very much tied to the final for 375. For this class, the final you're expected to create your own music and your own sounds and all of that and implement it into your VR experience. Here's a clip of how that might sound like. But basically, how this will be working through is that for this class, you'll be learning two softwares. One is Audacity. I'm sure you've probably used Audacity before, but you're going to be going more in depth into how Audacity can work with the different volume effects and all of that stuff. Another one is VCV Rack, which is what I have loaded up right here. VCV Rack is essentially a voltage controlled environment where you're able to create a bunch of unique sounds and music. If you think about the panels that like DJs have, where there's a bunch of like knobs and there's some wires sometimes sticking to different other panels, this is essentially what VCV Rack is. Now, for this class, you are not expected to have a, background in music theory or whatever. In fact, that's like one of the first things that Ted brings up, that most people have at least some experience with music, but they don't have a full breakdown knowledge of music theory or whatever. And I say that because it is completely fine if your stuff sounds not up to par with what you'd like it to sound like. And to show you that's true, here's how my final sounds like, essentially, with all the music. I'm gonna turn that down because that hurts my ears. But the idea with VCV Rack, though, is that you're able to just create a bunch of unique tracks and sounds and whatever, and ultimately create them into some other unique sounds. So you can see right here, I have notes, I have like a main melody, drums, LFO, all the stuff. These are all terms that you're going to be learning more in depth into the actual class. But a majority of your class in 360 is spent with VCV Rack. You're going to be learning. This seems very overwhelming right now, but as time goes on and the more you understand that all of this is voltage controlled, i.e. you need electricity or power to activate something, the more you're able to implement that idea into your head, the easier it is for you to be able to create very convoluted things, if that makes sense. This is a lot of what 360 is, just creating a bunch of sounds, creating a bunch of music, and actually implementing it into your individual VR game. That's more or less what you're going to be doing for this class, unless something major changed. But that's about all there is to 360.